What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 10K on the Bay, my journey to 10,000 live listings on eBay. Today, I'm going to go over how to make $1,000 a week on eBay. I'm going to go over exactly what you need to buy, what supplies you need, and what kind of budget you need to actually make $1,000 a week, which is sort of the median household amount in the United States. So thanks again for joining my channel. This is my journey to 10,000 active listings on eBay. This is your first time joining me. And I now have a Facebook group called Reseller Fam, where I'm going to show people exactly what it takes if you want to be a full-time reseller and do this as an occupation. So the first thing that you're going to need is a cell phone. You have to have a cell phone if you want to do this and make it easy. Whoa. You might need a better camera too if you're going to do YouTube as well. But you're going to need a cell phone. You're going to need an external battery. That way your phone doesn't run out of battery when you're out in the wild. And you're going to need roughly, I would say $10,000. If you want to actually make $1,000 a week, you're going to need 10 grand worth of capital that you have set aside that you don't need to pay bills. Now that is a lot of money for most people. And I started back in October with only $1,000, which is still a lot of money, but I'm just saying if you want to realistically make $1,000 a week, I think it takes $10,000 in capital in order to do that. And I'll explain exactly how, and I'll give you an example of what I'm doing right now to show you and demonstrate how this is done. If you guys want to watch my store, The Low Key Husky, on eBay, the link it will be in the description below. Or you can follow me on Instagram, and I'll show you what things I'm buying to get to that threshold of $1,000 per week. I have a slightly higher goal, but in that second store, I will show you guys sort of how to do it exactly step by step. So the first thing you need to do is you do not need to rely on, or you cannot rely on only one place to source. Today I went to 8 Goodwills. So everybody thinks it's super easy to go to Goodwill and maybe pull out a lot of gems. Now it depends on where you live. In some areas it might be easy, but there's a gentleman in my Facebook group named David who said that I need to make a video showing people that it's not super easy to go and find things at Goodwill and make money. Now, I don't know what I said in previous videos that makes it sound easy. It's not easy. You have to go there. You have to have a knowledge of what items are going to sell for $30 or more. That's sort of the rule if you want to make it on eBay as a reseller. You have to develop a skill to find items that are worth $30 or more that you're paying $10 or less at the minimum. If you don't have that skill, you can't resell because that skill is required if you're going to go to thrift stores or garage sales or flea markets. If you want to make it, you have to have that skill. So in just over 6 hours of sourcing today, I'm sorry, I'm just touching the screen because it is going dark. I need to change the battery settings in just a second. But in 6 hours of sourcing in 8 different Goodwills, I actually only purchased 2 items. And so the goal here is to spend $200 a day, 5 days a week, and double your money. And over the course of 10 weeks. So you've got to buy $200 worth of stuff that you're going to sell for $600 and net $400, which is doubling your money. So essentially, you need to do that for 10 weeks in a row to give yourself a chance to get your stuff to sell. I see a lot of resellers that are panicking if their stuff doesn't sell in 2 weeks or a month or even 2 months. I think you should be able to wait up to 3 months at least to have your items sell because it might not be in season. So this, for example, is a pair of Adidas golf shoes. If you guys know now, spikes are illegal on the golf course, so they now have moved to these soft spikes. And I knew right away when I touched this was a golf shoe because baseball cleats have different spikes, but I've been doing this a little while, but after some time you can recognize, so even before I knew what brand these were, I already knew they were golf shoes, and it's golf season right now, so I would be surprised if these take longer than a month or 2 to sell. I purchased these golf shoes, Adidas golf shoes, for $7.99. You probably can't see the tag, but $7.99. Hopefully you guys have a better deal on shoes at your Goodwill, $7.99. And there's not a lot of used pairs that have sold, but there's a lot of new pairs that have sold for right around $80. So my goal is to sell these for at least triple. So at these are actually $8. An $8 cost, I'm gonna have to basically ask $29 because it's a little bit more expensive to ship these than a classic item. This is gonna ship in a padded flat rate. For me, I don't have any problem if it's size 9 or under to fit it inside a padded flat rate envelope, which ships for $6.30. So when you're calculating your shipping costs, make sure that if you're getting a shoe and you're getting a larger size, that's not going to fit in a padded flat rate. So it'd behoove you to bring a padded flat rate envelope with you if you're just starting to the thrift store to see what items will actually fit in there, because that's your best friend. You can go unlimited weight in the padded flat rate. If you're just starting, I recommend that's the maximum size package that you start with. So this I picked up for $8. So again, remember the goal is to spend $200 and double your money. Now I went to 8 Goodwills today and I only found 2 items that really fit my criteria. Now that's crazy because you would think that you could find a lot more items, but I'm working with a somewhat limited budget, so of $200 a day for this experiment. And so I don't want to spend on items that I'm going to make less than double my money. I actually did find some items today that I passed on, like some shirts that I could have purchased for $4 and sold for $20. But I was just looking for some different types of items today to show you guys you don't have to rely on just clothing. So Adidas golf shoes, they fit the criteria. The second one is actually this. Let's see if I can switch to camera. Is actually this large format printer. This is an HP 7612. Pretty nice, like legal size large format printer, and it's pretty cool, and it works. I turned it on, or at least actually I don't know if it works, but it does turn on. So for me, it was worth it to buy it for $15 to test it, because even on eBay in a parts only condition, they're selling for about $60. This is a $300 printer, so $60 plus shipping for one that's not even working, and this one does turn on. I'm gonna have to test it to make sure, but it is worth my time. A $15 investment to potentially make $100 profit, because these used, I do see some on eBay selling for above $200. So good pickup on the printer. You're not always gonna have these home runs though, so don't rely on them. You're gonna have to rely on bread and butters. Don't think about home runs. You can make a living just batting singles, which I'm gonna show you guys. Something that I think is relatively easy, which is clothing. So when you do retail arbitrage, I think this is easier than thrifting. And as a general rule, if you're getting things 75 to 90% off, you're going to be okay, because the liquidation of that. So for example, if I bought this English laundry polo, right? The tag on it says $50, right? And I purchased this for $8. So I got it for about 85% off of retail. I also used my resale license, so I did not pay sales tax on this. So you're looking at about 85% off. I paid $8 for it. It's a brand new polo. So I know if I put this online for $20 free shipping, that's sort of the low end. It's going to sell right away. This is under 8 ounces. It's going to ship for $2.77. I'm going to barely double my money on this if I sell it for $19, actually probably around $21, I would double my money. But the thing is, I want you guys, when you're practicing, to try to get it for at least 75% off. That way, if you panic and you need the money for some reason, you could sell this for $15 shipped in probably a week. If you really needed to unload something and you have it for 75% off free shipping, you're going to get your money back and out of the item quick. And I think it's important when you're just starting to look for something that's 75 to 90% off MSRP. Selling things for 50% off MSRP is relatively easy on eBay. Not in every category, but in clothing, I seem to have relatively good luck with that. So I picked up this polo for 85% off. Now, let me give you an example on jeans. Now, jeans are seasonal. No one's wearing jeans right now because it's hot. So you have to be willing to wait until the summer. I had a lot of people ask me what my strategy is on jeans. It's basically a 1-year sell-through rate. I think jeans are worth a certain amount as long as they fit. There are people who buy certain brands and they keep rebuying the same brand. And as a general rule, you want to pick up plus-sized anything because in the United States, people are generally larger, right? I think after college, people gain between 5 to 10 pounds a year until they're 40, which is pretty sad. But that's just what, I live in California where people are vegan and often, not necessarily vegan, but they're very health conscious. So out here, I don't see as many bigger people, but it's just because of the location. So it's even more difficult for me to find plus size clothing at Goodwill because there's less people like that. But one huge advantage for me is that because there's a lot of skinny people here, the plus size clothing sells slower at retail stores. So here's a pair of paper denim and cloth. So I actually purchased around, I would say 100 pairs of these between $4 and $10, depending on the style. Slim is more popular, so if you guys can pick up a wider waist size with a skinnier leg cuff, you're going to be safer. So I like to look, I'll pay a little bit more for a slim fit versus a boot cut, which is wider, or a straight fit, which is sort of in the middle. So learn your jean brands if you're going to sell jeans. I think it's one of the easiest categories to sell in. I'm actually disappointed in myself a little bit for sharing it on Instagram and YouTube because it's such an easy category to sell. All you have to do is find one at a discount. And if you price your jeans right, they will sell. And I've seen some like if you took a picture like this, someone would probably still be able to buy it if they knew what brand they were looking for and what size. So the MSRP on these jeans is between $30 and $84. So I was able to purchase these jeans between 80 and 95% off. So it took me 8 hours of hunting to spend $200 today. It took a long time, and I say 8 hours total, actually only maybe about 6 hours of legit shopping. So it's not super easy, right? I'm a hustler too, so I'm in there, I'm talking to the managers, I'm trying to figure out how to get a good deal, I'm trying to ask what sells, what doesn't sell, what do other resellers do. I'm in there learning, right? I didn't know about a lot of different categories until I actually asked the manager what to buy. So English laundry for me, for example, it used to sell really well apparently according to the OG guys, and now the stock has sort of dropped and it's not selling for as strong as it used to. I think 7 Diamonds is also in that category, but it's okay. Like if you're getting a high quality shirt and it's a good color and there's no defects on it, you're going to be fine. So I'm going to open up the chat real quick and see if anybody has any questions. But the basic rule is you need about $10,000. It takes money to make money if you want to do it in an easy fashion. And you're going to be spending $200 a day on items that are selling on eBay for $600. And if you can't do that, then you can't make $1,000 a week. You could even do it from the comfort of your home. My girlfriend only does online arbitrage. Okay, so she is shopping online and looking for things that are this criteria. So if you sat home all day, you could probably spend $200 to flip it for $6 and net $4. It would take 8 hours of shopping, maybe even longer, since there's a lot of programs out there. There's a lot of people who are doing it from their house who live in weird areas, or maybe they don't have these stores around them. So you're competing with a lot more people online, in my opinion. Let's see if I can find somebody or find some of the questions. Let's see. Awesome. See if anybody is on. Longer, since there's a lot of programs. Whoa. Sweet. So how is everybody doing? If you guys could put in the chat how your sales went for this week. My sales are between $2,500 and $3,000 a week right now. I have a couple of eBay stores. Really enjoying this full time. I like shopping, so I'm cranking up around 20,000 steps a day. I'm staying hydrated. Shout out to Tipsy Chef Products. You guys should check them out on Instagram. This is not a paid endorsement. I just think their stuff's pretty sweet. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, looks like I can't pull up the chat right now, so I'm actually going to go, guys. I want to list all this stuff tonight. So once you spend 8 hours shopping or 6 hours shopping, you need to spend 4 hours listing. So I think it takes around 10 hours of actual work in the beginning. Of course, I have staff. I have 4 listers that can help me with this, but right now I'm not buying enough inventory to justify doing them, and I'm still working on wholesale suppliers. If you guys want to join my Patreon group, at 10K or patreon.com/10K on the bay, you are welcome to text me throughout the day. I'm basically shopping 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Text me throughout the day. Let's work on your business model. I have plenty of testimonials, plenty of people who are talking to me every day, and we're working on their model together. If you need a little bit of extra help, you need a little bit of coaching, reach out to me on Patreon. You can have access to me. You can also join a weekly call with 5 or 6 other resellers, including myself. So the maximum size of that group will be 6 people, including me. And we'll keep each other accountable because the information is out there, guys. You don't have to buy a course. You don't have to join anything. You could just do it yourself. The basic rule is if you want to make $1,000 a week, spend 200, sell it for 600, and net 400. Now, here's one hack. If you have more capital, then you don't need to double your money. You could spend $1,000 and only net $200 a day, and then you don't need to spend as much time shopping. You can search items that are selling instead of cheap. So, for example, if you know that these tumblers are selling really well on Amazon, you want to create a private label like Tipsy Chef products, your margin is going to be a lot lower, right? So if you want to compete in this category, there's going to be a lot of competition. It's a totally different game, but you can sort of spend money to make money. You can make a lower margin and sell more. And that's actually, in my opinion, easier than hunting for $200 worth of stuff that's worth $600 because you can't scale that, right? At a certain point, unless I hire an army of people that go out there and buy for me, it's quite challenging. So again, the model that I'm looking for is I want to make 1.6 million in revenue a year and 400,000 profit, circulating 500 to 1,000 items a week. That's the model I'm looking for. I need a $30 to $50 average sale price to do that. The easiest way for me to do that is shoes. So as long as I have the capital, it wouldn't be too difficult to get 10,000 pairs of shoes that are in the $30 to $50 revenue range. Again, guys, go out there and kill it. If you want to join my group, hit me up on Instagram. You can text me. We can have a quick call and see if you're the right fit. And then the eventual goal is once I get wholesale connections in place, I will share those connections with my friends and the people in my group so that we don't have to go sourcing. We can just buy them and order them. And there's tons of Amazon sellers that do this. It's not new. It's not a secret. Obviously, once you have a great wholesale deal or a relationship with the manufacturer, you want to max that out until the well goes dry. So hope you guys are having a great day. Hope you enjoyed this. My computer is being cleaned right now. That's why I'm using an iPhone to film this. But I am going to get into some real vlogging as the summer continues. As I get into a little bit more of a groove, I'll have more time to vlog. But again, I recommend just do it. And you can always look back. Once in 300 episodes from now, when I say, hey, look, do you remember when I was just doing it on my iPhone? You will know. You'll watch me progress from 0 YouTube skills to hopefully being a pretty amazing videographer by the end of 1,000 episodes. I'm sure after you do 1,000 episodes of YouTube, you're going to know what you're doing, how to hustle, how to make it look great, how to edit. And I just don't want you guys to spend a ton of time making sure everything's perfect before you launch something. You can do that, and some people prefer to get the best camera, the best equipment, script out their entire thing. But I think it's faster to just be authentic, talk about your journey, share what you're doing, and then once you do that, people will follow you, people will engage, people will give you feedback, and you can continue to grow. So hope everyone's having a great day. Peace.